Shit story from years ago. Be me, 7 years old. I like to stay away from my friends and family during the summertime. I also like to go into a little treehouse in my backyard to use my imagination. You see, I lived in an area where the backyards have no dividers or fencing, so it was all open. Fortunately for me, there was a forest literally right in my backyard. Sometimes I would journey into the forest to play games and shit. One day, I had this awesome idea to create a zipline from my treehouse to the forest. My dad helped me because he's a dad. We tried a zipline and it fucking works. You'll see why this is important later. I'm on that shit 24/7. My mom is a little bulimic, so she usually doesn't take me to 1, but 3 fast food places. She may do this every once in a great while. Apparently it was her way of stocking up on food. I have to eat everything that she tells me, or else I get in trouble for wasting her money. Only this time, she went to not 3, but 5 different fast food places. "Anon, you have to eat your food to grow up big and strong like Daddy," she says. "Okay, you fat bitch, why don't you just board a plane to Africa so all the starving children can eat you?" "Oh wait, that's right, the plane wouldn't be able to lift you off the ground," I thought. If you've ever eaten food before and just wanted to stop, but didn't, imagine this feeling but 1,000 times worse. I blew it up like a balloon. Strangely, I don't feel like crap for 5 days. I was beginning to eat regularly. I'm doing my usual thinking and playing in my treehouse when suddenly my stomach rumbles. Oh no.png. I know I can't make it down the zipline, my backyard is too big. But what if I use my zipline? Time is running out. The shit starts to guzzle out a little bit of my pants and trickle down the side. I had to take my fucking pants off and hop on the line. I was literally the worst fucking idea I've ever had in my life. My neighbours were also having an outdoor dinner party, like they did regularly, only this time they came out to see a naked 7-year-old with shit on his ass. My dad also made the zipline twice as long only a few weeks ago. As I descended from the zipline, I could feel my butt cheeks slap together wildly. Oh fucking god, please help me! Liquid red shit rockets out my ass and onto the ground. If you've ever taken a huge, singular crap that hurts really bad, imagine this. My 7-year-old ass ruptures and spews blood and liquid shit. The sound of my screams and everlasting farts can be heard throughout the neighborhood. I glance over to find my neighbors looking at me horrified. Oh, and the worst is just beginning. See, what you had to do to stop the zipline was to put your feet out in front of you until your momentum would be halted by a big tree that the line was connected to. I swear to fucking god, my shit was literally propelling me forward and wasn't stopping. I forgot to put my feet in front of me. I slammed into the tree with tremendous force, but I'm still barely conscious. My ass has literally been stretched out 5 inches in diameter and isn't stopping. My grip around the zipline loosens as I fall face first into a pile of my own shit and blood. I wake up in the hospital with stitches around my asshole. Apparently, after I fell unconscious, I didn't stop shitting until I started spewing out stomach acid. I lost so much goddamn blood. My dad has a look of utter shame and disgust on his face. A few days after that, my treehouse was destroyed, and so was the zipline. I was also enrolled in Sunday church program. Now that I'm 23, I still can't go to my parents' house on the holidays without the incident being brought up. Kill me. Continue because some cunt from Reddit stole my shit and posted it on iFunny. And then some cunt from YouTube stole it and uploaded it there. The cycle continues. Be me. After the big incident, when I was 7, my mum and dad didn't speak to me much. They made me enroll in Sunday Catholic Church, whatever the fuck. I had to go there. It was this small minority-infested shithole with nuns that smelled of 90-year-old unused vagina. It took my dad a while to forgive me for the incident. The neighbours don't talk to him or us and spread the rumours. Our house was considered the one that people would tell their children to stay away from, but that's besides the point. My routine for the rest of the summer was to eat, sleep, read, and then Sunday school. I remember I didn't have an air conditioner outside the place. This plays a role later. School was composed of us children having to memorize some shitty lines from the Bible. It was literally the worst experience. The classroom was literally composed of mostly tards and tards. I didn't know if the parents had to put them in there because they thought religion could fix them or what, but I didn't care. The nuns and priests were lazy minorities who would scream at the kids from time to time. 7-year-old fucking plans to PNG. One day, after around 2 weeks, I decided I couldn't take it. I had one friend who I remained in contact secretly. I remember having these cheap walkie-talkies that he gave me for my birthday so he could remain in touch. After my Landwehr mom kissed me goodnight, I counted 5 minutes before sneaking off into my closet to fetch my walkie-talkie. Let's call him Color 2.
Psst, Color 2, are you there?
I asked him. The feed from the other end was like static, but after adjusting it, I could hear his sweet, sweet cracker voice again.
Coloring on? Dude, come on. I want to go to bed,
he said.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Listen, I need you to bust me out tomorrow. I don't want to go to that shitty church again.
Color 2 loved to get involved with this bad behavior. He grew up to be a pothead.
Are we gonna bust you out?
I could hear him grin.
We're gonna bust me out, get sweet revenge in the church, and get ice cream afterwards. And what does this get me?
He asked.
I'll give you a Snickers and 2 Babe Ruths when we're done. Can I throw an egg at your mom?
He asked. No joke, that's what this little fucker said to me.
Make it a water balloon, and we have a deal.
That night, we planned for a couple of hours. This shit was in full throttle and was gonna catch fire. I remember getting around 3 hours of sweet sound sleep that night before it was time. In the morning, I had to take a huge shit, but I couldn't because I had the shit in some bag until my wounds healed. I didn't have the time to shit in the morning. The Landwehr drove me to church before waving goodbye and taking a huge bite out of 3 burgers. I'm ready to laserdisc. I walk into the church as Tards and Tards are chatting quietly before class starts. All I had to do was wait. It neared around high noon before I heard it. Thinking about it still gives me jitters. The stupid minority priest was interrupted by a loud urgent knock at the door, as if someone's life depended on it. One of the nuns got to the door and realized that there was no one there. They went back to what they were doing and stupidly closed the door. There was a much louder knock this time, and more urgent too. While they were checking their door, I asked if I could run over the daycare to go to the bathroom. When I walk over to the stalls, I turn on my walkie.
Color 2, you're perfect. Now you just have to go do the thing that we don't mention to the readers until it's time.
It takes 5 minutes for me to get a giant turd out and put it into the bag and into my backpack. Now as I walked back, all the tards were playing games, while the priest probably molested some downies in the staff room. Perfect timing. I slowly take out the shit out of my backpack and put it right under the main altar. Forgive me, Jesus. The door was now open so I could use Color 2, doing the thing as planned. This was literally the craziest thing I've ever pulled in my entire life. Now that everything was perfect, I decided to make some friends. I go up to a huge downy girl and say, "You're pretty," and walk away. She tells me and all of her friends that I'm her boyfriend and tries to hang out and follow me. It's all part of the plan. The priests and nuns come back out of the staff room with a little boy who looked like he was crying. I swear one of the priests had a bulge. As they settle down the children and get them back into their seats, I tell the downy to sit next to me. She really wants to be near me. The priest is halfway complete in reciting quotes from the Bible, but he notices that she's not in her right seat. But he's my boyfriend, she tells him. Everyone gags and giggles and goes, "Ew!" This is the perfect opportunity. "I don't like you," I told her. The other Landwehr starts to turn red and blue as she lets out a violent shriek. It has begun, the AVI. You see, the priest had to go to his little stand in front of the room and grab a hammer, or he would bang it down if the class got too loud. But this time, there was a surprise waiting for him. The heat of the room with no air conditioner made my huge shit really hot and smelly. It was turned into a small puddle on the ground. The priest pricked up and started screaming as it got all over his robes. The children went into a militia mode as the first tard stood up and pulled down his pants and yelled, "Oh, peen!" and proceeded to pee on the floor. The tards and tards went into a frenzy, biting everyone and slapping each other. I ran out the door as they overpowered the nuns and broke the windows in the statue of Jesus. Color 2 was out there waiting for me with a bike. "Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!" I told him. We drove as fast as we could that day. On our bikes, we left the church and I asked him, "Did you do the thing?" He grinned as he pointed at the parking lot. Color 2's dad was a huge beaner. He had a small parrot. Instead of buying the tristest food for his kid, he decided to spend all his money on birdseed. Color 2 took a whole bag of it and dumped it all over the cars in the parking lot. I could already see the birds flocking towards it. I bought ice cream for us. The following day, the church was closed and the Tides couldn't be arrested. I told my parents they ran out of the building as soon as the outbreak happened and made it back home. I was taken out of the program afterwards and given the privilege of having a zipline. So much fucking win that day.
Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to Mr. Green and check out all of his social medias down below. My name Goda.